There has been speculation of what the next move will be for Canelo Alvarez, whom he may fight, at what weight class, and what exactly is his motivation. Let's have a discussion about Canelo, the elusive truth. As we are closing out the year 2022, we look ahead towards 2023 and what may be in store for one of boxing's biggest names, a fighter who has at times been called the face of boxing, and someone who happens to hold, believe it or not, undisputed at his weight class. We're talking Saul Canelo Alvarez, who stands with his record of 58-2 with 2 draws and 39 KOs at super middleweight. In his last outing, he was able to defeat his arch villain, Gennady Golovkin, in a third match that made their meetings a trilogy. And though his performance against Golovkin in the third fight was lackluster, he did win a unanimous decision. But critics believe something may be going on with Saul. With names on his dossier such as Floyd Mayweather, Erislandy Lara, he has fought good to great fighters. Then there are other names on his record that you think of, and that would be, as I just mentioned, you talk about Miguel Cotto and Gennady Golovkin. Quality fighters, make no mistake about it. But his fight prior to the Golovkin third match was against a fighter at a higher weight class that he had decided to challenge for a second time around, that being the light heavyweight division's Dmitry Bivol. Now, he had previously gone up to light heavyweight, and he had taken on Sergey Kovalev. The Kovalev fight took place in November of 2019, and there he managed to get 11th round KO over Kovalev, who many people felt was faded at the time. But I mention his past simply because we need to understand where he is presently. His performance against Dmitry Bivol, and followed up by his lackluster victory in the third fight against Triple G, shows us that the tires may be flat with Saul Canelo Alvarez. With so many fights under his belt and having turned pro at a young age, Father Time, who's undefeated, may finally be catching up to him. He even has spent recent past speaking about the fact that he has surgery on a wrist. Now, fighters have surgeries all the time. Broken hands, something to get fixed or repaired, ligaments here and there, so forth. But Canelo's age is a factor in what's going on with him. He has little to no mobility from the waist down. He doesn't want to fight fighters who are agile and mobile, fighters who have agility and a little bit of foot speed. He's now become the guy that's a plotter who will hunt down his prey and look to cut the ring off and bang with opponents. And against Dmitry Bivol, he was not able to do these things successfully at all. Bivol controlled the distance and kept his hands moving against Canelo, providing him with such an onslaught of activity that Canelo could only cover up and do his typical bobbing and weaving, all the while losing on points. He just could not match what Bivol was bringing. And as we head into 2023, a rematch had been proposed. But people were wondering because Canelo said, how about coming down to 168 initially? And then he opted to fight Triple G in the third fight. He didn't take the immediate rematch against Bivol. So, that being said, we now have to look at one more year under the belt for Saul. And age is definitely a factor. Though he is only 32 years of age, his body is more like 42. And therein lies the problem. When you talk about a fighter like Dmitry Bivol, whom he's saying that he would like to face again in 2023, Bivol is 31, but has only 21 fights as a pro with 11 KOs. And he appears to be hitting that prime spot where he's looking better and more efficient. His recent victory, which saw him perform very well against Gilberto Ramirez, states that he may now be ready for his ultimate showdown against Artur Beterbiev for undisputed at light heavyweight. I do not know what Canelo will be able to do with Dmitry Bivol in a rematch. I could foresee it being a harder task than it was previously. Dmitry Bivol also shows ring intelligence, something that some of the opponents that Canelo had faced recently, outside of Triple G, they could not show him. When you talk about Caleb Plant, who fell apart mentally in their fight, you talk about Billy Joe Saunders, who also fell apart mentally and physically in their fight. And prior to that opponent, Anvil Yildirim, who, being a former sparring partner, barely threw any punches against Canelo in their fight. You have to go all the way back to a match where he had in 2019, May of that year, against Danny Jacobs. And though he beat Jacobs with a unanimous decision, that was the last opponent who had shown Canelo something. So Dmitry Bivol, being the man that he is standing at the mountain. And if Canelo is looking to get any respect back, he does need to get in there with Bivol again. But it doesn't look good for him. So the elusive truth of Canelo is it all over, or has it just been a charade all along? There are other fighters out there that he was supposed to have faced during his generation, and he did not. Even Floyd, who defeated him first, was 36 years old when he did so. Think about that. What do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Please let me know, what do you think about Canelo and his elusive truth? This is all I have for you at this time. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain